Here's your 2-minute time check. Mark. Here comes your 1-minute time check for this Auburn broadcast. Mark. "30 seconds till broadcast." Mark.
This is the Coach J Show. Your all-access pass to Auburn women's basketball with head coach Johnny Harris. Live from Baumhower's Victory Grill in Auburn. With Coach J, here's the voice of Auburn women's basketball, Britt Bowen.
With 2 games left to play, Auburn women's basketball is gearing up for the final week of the regular season. Yesterday, the Tigers kept their postseason hopes alive with a much-needed win over Texas A&M. It was the 13th home win of the year for the Tigers, and Auburn broke the single-season attendance record yesterday for Auburn women's basketball with over 3,000 in the house at Neville Arena. Thursday night, Auburn hosts Mississippi State on senior night and the Tigers' final home game of the regular season. Tonight, all 5 seniors will join us on the season's final edition of the Coach J Show. Good evening in War Eagle from Baumhower's Victory Grill on Bent Creek Road in Auburn. What a great crowd on hand tonight. Everybody here at Baumhower's, you see this big long open table here open in the dining room. We've got the entire women's basketball team on their way to Baumhower's. They're going to be joining us here momentarily. Coach J is unavailable tonight. She is out recruiting with Coach Savannah Carter. So not to worry, though. Like I said, we've got a packed schedule with all 5 seniors on the show. I'm Britt Bowen. Wes Todd is our on-site producer. Appreciate everybody week in and week out here at Baumhower's showing up. This is our last edition of the Coach J Show here this season. But tonight, up first, we've got Carson McFadden, one of the seniors, joining us. And on our second segment, we've got Taylen Collins and JaMya Mingo-Young, 2 transfers. And then our final segment includes the 3rd leading scorer in the SEC, Honesty Scott-Grayson, along with the Director of Program Relations, Operations, and Events, Tracy Tanner, joining us. Sadly, it's our last show, but we have a packed show tonight honoring our 2024 senior class. So without further ado, our first guest of the Coach J Show, Ms. Carsen McFadden. Carsen, War Eagle.
War Eagle, Brett.
Carsen, this is not your first time on the Coach J Show. You're a veteran. You've done it last year, but I wanted to save you to the last week, you and Honesty both. So I've had a couple people ask me about you. This season, though, has been a fun one. It's been, I know, an up-and-down roller coaster for this season. How would you put this season into words so far?
It's really hard to put into words the season this far just because it's such an impactful season. I mean, we have broken a lot of records this year and done some really awesome things, and I just feel like this team has grown so much. And so it's hard to put into words, but it's just such an exciting year. Yeah, four seasons on the Plains, and you started as a walk-on, now a scholarship player. You've seen it all. You've been through a staff transition. What's the growth of this team been like, even last year to this year? Why is this 2024 team different here in your senior season?
The mindset. It's definitely just
the mindset is just we're so driven. We're in it together. It's so clear that every day we come in and we come out, and the day is that we're here to win it. We're here to win, and we're here to go to war. And that's what we say every single day is let's go to war. And it's true because we want to win. We want to go to the tournament where it's talked about. And this team is just determined. And I think that's just a big difference between my 4 years here is just you've got the entire team, you've got the whole staff, we're all in it together, and we're all very determined.
Has it hit you that Thursday is your final game in Neville Arena for senior night, at least for the regular season?
It has, and it's really sad. It's really sad to think that this chapter of my life is closing, a chapter that I have dedicated my entire life to. And but it's really going to be a great opportunity to just be able to celebrate my teammates, and the fact that I'm getting to do it with 4 of my teammates is so exciting.
Well, when you get thoughts of being sad, and I understand it's emotional, your sister goes to Auburn, your parents travel here so often, you spent 4 years in that arena, but think about the opportunity on Thursday night. Think where this program has come in 4 years. On Thursday night, Auburn's playing for the right to play in the NCAA tournament on Thursday night with a win over Mississippi State. So does that flip that sadness into a little motivation? I mean, it flips the motivation so quickly. We want it so bad, and we are here. And it's just really cool to be in that conversation. And through that, that's just a big goal that we've always had, and that it's attainable is really cool, and we're really determined to do it. All right, you told me this story this year on one of the trips. I don't remember. They all blend together so far. But your journey to Auburn is a little different than your sisters. You have a twin sister. Tell us who your twin sister is. Claire McFadden. Claire McFadden. All right, and Claire and Carson, for those that don't know, they're awesome. They're twins. But they are polar opposites, I think, in terms of personality and meeting you both. So tell me about both of your journeys to Auburn and how you got to Auburn and chose to come to school here. Well, I had a little bit of a hard time just because I came in COVID. And my mom is right there, and she'll tell you that when you get stuck with Stephanie McFadden, it's really fun, so you don't want to leave. And so it was a really hard decision to go 11 hours from home. But knowing that my twin sister was also going to be here was just the biggest surprise because our parents didn't let us talk about it because my parents knew that Claire would really sway my decision. And if Claire said, hey, you should go to Auburn, then I would have gone to Auburn. So a really cool experience that we've both been at Auburn for the past 4 years but have a very different experience. But we do it together is really sweet. But I knew that the moment I came to Auburn that if my parents dropped me off, I would be okay here. And it was the best 4 years, the best decision I've ever made. Wait, so Claire, she wanted to come to Auburn. This was her tour. This wasn't your tour originally. This was Claire's school. Okay. This was Claire's school, and my parents forced me to go on the tour. And I was really upset because it was really far away, and I didn't want to go. And some of our biggest fights were over me going to college because I didn't want to leave my family. But the moment I got on campus, it was just the culture, the people. It was an incredible place, and I wanted to be a part of it. But now you have family close by, going to school with your sister. What's that like going to school, going to college, not only high school but also college with a sibling and of course, doing it so out of state? It's definitely it changes my entire experience because I know that I have someone there for me. And not only is it a sibling, it's the person that I've spent every single day of my life with. I've been on this earth 1 minute without Claire. And so to have her with me this entire 4 years is just incredible. Well, for you, you started at Auburn as a walk-on. Let's start with that journey as a walk-on. What made you want to be a walk-on out of high school in the college at this level at an SEC school? I just knew that I wanted to be a part of Auburn any way that I could. And COVID kind of threw a little bit of wrench in the plan just because of recruiting really shut down and schools and everything. You couldn't get on their campuses. So just being able, once I was there, I realized that I wanted to be a part of this team and I wanted to be part of this culture. And walking on, I took a really big chance. But it was something that I decided to bet on myself for, and it was the best decision I've ever made. Well, it's interesting. Thinking about this interview today, as long as I've known you and honesty and just the conversations we've all had on the radio and traveling together, thinking back your freshman season, I did not know either one of you personally because we could not travel. We were not courtside on those broadcasts. But thinking about then, how did that year and this walk-on experience make you who you are today? That year was very crazy just because college basketball was very different than it is today. And there's a lot of things that you don't realize in a game that makes a game. The bench energy, the crowd energy, being with your teammates. Because we were very spread out. That just really makes a difference. And so it was definitely a little different. But
I still wouldn't change it because I feel that Honesty and I really growed in that year, and our team wouldn't be the way that we are without that.
Well, and for you, of course, started as a walk-on. That changed 2 seasons ago. Is that correct with Coach Jay?
Yes, it changed my sophomore season. So Coach Jay's first season on the Plains.
What was that like, learning for the first time? You earned a scholarship. Not only that, to keep that scholarship weekend or year in and year out.
It was a very emotional day. It's something that I've always dreamed of since I was a little girl. I remember my coach, Coach Bell, his daughter played at SMU, and I remember she would come to our practices and she would dump out a box of all of her letters from schools, and I knew that was something I wanted to do. And so the day that Coach Jay told me, I just cried. I remember crying in my kitchen and just thinking that I did it because it was always a dream that I wanted. And the fact that I did it every single year after that was just so incredible, and I'm so thankful to Coach Jay because it completely changed my life and it completely changed the person I am today. You
mentioned your role on the team and having that bench energy, what you do on practice squad. You're not only learning your game plan, but you're also having to execute the opposing team's expected game plan. What's that experience like week in and week out, and how does that challenge you to be a better player for this team?
Well, it just challenges me because I know that the best thing that I can bring to this team is my energy and my leadership, and how am I going to do that every single day? But not only that, how am I going to change my teammates' lives? So every single day, like if Honesty's having a bad day, how am I going to help on out? If Kiki's doing this, like how am I going to help Ki? Like just being a prevalent person in our program has really been my goal, and knowing that when I leave in 4 years, hoping that I left an impact is my biggest thing. And the thing about a game is that all 15 players are in it, and just making sure that I'm doing everything I can in practice to help make sure they're prepared for the game is my biggest thing.
A lot of people out there, myself included, want to be a student athlete and can't. And, well, we don't have the talent, but also, too, what a lot of people don't see is the effort, the time, the energy that it takes to be a student athlete. What would be your advice to someone who is interested, not sure, kind of on the fence of being a student athlete in college?
I would say that my biggest advice to someone who wants to be a student athlete is to do it, because it's a life-changing. It makes you appreciate discipline and teamwork and leadership, and you grow so much. If anybody knows me, the person I came in as a freshman is a completely different person than I am today, just because playing collegiately has completely changed me and formed me into the person I am today. And it takes a lot of work and it's a lot of time, but it's so rewarding, and it's so rewarding because you're getting to play with such awesome teammates and such awesome coaches, and it's just your life is being changed.
I've watched you in practice this year, and the part that no one wants to talk about is playing through the bumps and bruises. I don't remember where we were. I just remember one day at shoot-around, I heard a thump.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Heard a thump, and then I heard a scream, and I said, oh, no, who is down? Who is that? And I turned, it was you. But it's not just you. It's every player on the team. Yes. You experience something throughout the year. We saw Mingo just the other night did the same thing. How do you balance that in terms of keeping your body healthy and staying mentally strong? Because we expect a lot out of student athletes, and everyone, myself included, we forget about the day-to-day grind, and you're a person first, then a student, then an athlete.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a hard balance because you need to take care of your body, you need to take care of your mental health, but also you have to do whatever you can for your team. And so just, hey, we're not all going to have our best days, but that's also what a team is for. Yeah. And that's why I'm so grateful for my teammates and for such an amazing coaching staff who is there to support us, because the biggest thing, like I said earlier, is if my role is supposed to be that I'm supposed to help my teammate, how can I help them in any way? Hey, if someone's not having a good day, if someone's hurt, like how am I going to help in that? And it's a grind, and there's hard days and there's good days, but when you have a support staff like I do, it's game changing.
Big stretch coming up this week, and how excited are you for practice, just to be able to prepare and to know what's at stake? It's going to be a fun week ahead.
It's so exciting. I'm so excited for the fact that, I'm getting to go participate in senior night. It's really cool, and I think one of the biggest things that I'm so excited about is Honesty and I have been together for 4 years, and we came into this together. Well, she came before I did, but we've been in this together, and the fact that I'm getting to share that night with her is just so special because I'm getting to share it with a legend, and that's just so cool, and I'm just grateful to be a part of that night, but also just so excited that our name is in the the conversation for the NCAA tournament, and we want to make that happen.
Well, I can't wait to ask Honesty about you because look, and I understand everybody's got different roles, different contributions on this team, and you have embraced your role on this team. First and foremost, everyone in this restaurant and comes to Neville Arena admires that. But on the flip side, Carson, do you ever stop and think about you're part of that foundation that Coach Jay laid, she wanted here to help get this team to this point? You ever stop and think about that and process that?
I absolutely do, and I think what's really cool is years from now when we talk about the championships that are hanging in the rafters, I get to talk about how I was there that laid the foundation, and I was a part of the teams that, we might have went through the trenches for it and to lay that foundation, but we did it, and to be a part of that is really cool.
Do you have your practice squad assignment for Mississippi State yet? Who are you interpreting this week?
I don't know, but Coach Fred is going to have it for me tomorrow, and I will be well informed when I see him.
All right. I can't wait to find out. All right, so senior night, what family and friends will be joining you on senior night Thursday?
So my mom and my dad will both be here. My dad comes into town tomorrow and from Texas, and my twin sister will also be walking with me. And I'm really blessed that a lot of my aunts and uncles and my cousins are coming all the way from Texas, which is extremely kind because they don't have to do that. But I'm so grateful to have a support system because I could have never made it throughout those 4 years without my parents and Claire. They've gone to every single game. Claire has been at my apartment anytime I need anything. It's just, I couldn't have done it without my support staff.
All right. Mom's in the crowd tonight. All right. She's here supporting in person. Give Dad a shout out real quick. He's watching.
Dad.
All right. Thank you. All right. I don't want to get in trouble for that. All right. But, all right, so senior night, Thursday night, going to be a big one, but also, too, you're finishing up a big part of your life right now, too, final semester of college. Tell us what your major is. What have you been studying?
So I majored in journalism, but I have 3 minors in business, marketing, and coaching. So a little bit all over the board.
Wait, coaching, did you take the nun? Did you take the nun's
No,
class?
I didn't, and it's one of my biggest regrets.
Oh, okay. All right, didn't take the nun. Okay. All right, but what do you want to do with your degree?
I'm not totally sure what I want to do, but kind of just trying to figure that out right now. I know that there's something really awesome and really big ahead for me. Don't totally know what that's going to be yet, but I have a lot of awesome support that is helping me figure that out and leading me down that road.
Well, last time I talked to you about this time last year about these things, you were getting ready for an internship down in Mobile. Where did you intern? How was that?
So I interned at WKRG. It's in Mobile, Alabama, and it's a news station, and I loved it. It was such a great opportunity, and I had such a hands-on experience and really got to learn the ins and outs. And I was really worked with sports mainly, but I also got to see the news side, which was really cool, and really got a hands-on experience to work on my writing, got to work on my speaking, just really got to work on everything that goes into that. And so it was such an awesome opportunity. So we'll see if we'll see what comes out of my life.
Best piece of advice I'll give to you is no one has it figured out the day they graduate. And if they do, they're lying to you. Remember that.
Yes.
All right. Last couple questions for it. I'll let you go enjoy dinner with Mom. What does playing at Auburn mean to you in thinking about wrapping up this year? And again, we've still got a month and a half left of basketball, I think. But the last show, so I'm going to ask you now, what does it mean to you?
Gosh, it makes me emotional just because my time at Auburn was so special. It completely changed the person I am today. And to say that I was an athlete at Auburn University is just, it's incredible. I mean, it's something that no one else gets to say, and it was just so special. And to be a part of this program and to be their teammate is just so special. It's one of a kind. I mean, I feel that I'm leaving a true Auburn woman, and I hope that other people in the community would say that too.
Well, and do you realize you were the last person to wear number 24 for Auburn women's basketball?
I am. And a little fun fact about me, maybe that'll be my maybe that will be my new party trick.
Hey, well, look, and that's a unique trivia question. Of course, DB number 24 was retired a couple weeks ago. And what was that like, though, getting to see her and be on the same team with her in practice?
Gosh, it was so cool. I mean, the fact that she
Did you give her 24?
I thanked her for letting me finish in 24 because it meant so much to me, and but it was just so cool to play with a legend. I mean, that's not something anyone gets to do, and that was so cool, and just it was so emotional to watch her and just all the hard work that she put in to just watch her to just be recognized was just amazing. It was so special to be a part of.
What excites you about this next month of play, and what's at stake, and just the opportunity that your team has?
Yeah, so my team has a really, really awesome opportunity, and it's just so excited that our name is being talked about. And, hey, we want to be in that tournament, so we're super determined. We're super excited, and, hey, we're really hoping that we can make a run.
Carson, thanks so much. This was fun. See, listen.
This was so fun, Brent.
Listen, if you're around next year, you need a job. I'm just saying,
yes,
we could co-host.
I do need a job, so.
Okay. All right. I'll do my best. Carson, thanks so much for joining
War
War
Eagle.
Eagle. Tigers senior Carson McFadden joining us here on the Coach Jay Show, first segment in our final show of the season tonight at Baumhower. It's got a packed schedule on hand tonight. We've got two more seniors to introduce for this next segment. They're both transfers. They've been on this year already, but we're going to welcome them back. Is Taylen Collins and JaMya Mingo-Young joining the show tonight here on the Coach Jay Show. Tigers coming off a big win yesterday against Texas A&M that put the Tigers' win total up to 6 in SEC play. Auburn is trying to get 2 more. Auburn has Mississippi State on Thursday night at 7. We need a huge crowd on hand Thursday night because Auburn, they have 13 home wins this year in Neville Arena. We're going for number 14 on Thursday night. If the Tigers can get that win, it's going to set up a big one in Gainesville on Sunday. Auburn is playing for the chance to get their name called on Selection Sunday coming up in March. Welcome into the show. We have JaMya Mingo-Young and Taylen Collins joining us here on the Coach Jay Show. Ladies, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Welcome back. Y'all, look, second time this year. I know y'all are excited to come hang with me on Monday night, right?
Of course.
Off day, y'all didn't have anything better to do, right? That's what I thought. That's what Coach Jay told me anyways. All right, we'll start off. Mingo, we'll start with you. You're closest. Has it hit you that Thursday night is senior night in Neville Arena, last home game of the regular season?
No, not yet. It'll probably hit me come Thursday, or Thursday night once the game is over. That's probably when it hit me, but no, it hasn't hit me yet.
How about you, Taylen?
It'll probably hit me on our very last game.
Yeah, last game. Yeah, and it usually does. It usually does. But look, Auburn has won 13 at home, a chance to make it 14. Why does playing at Neville give you all such an advantage? Taylen, we'll start with you on that one.
I feel like our fans are really what make it. This past season, they really came and showed out. And so I think that it really just helps us feed off of them and then, turned it into W's.
Well, and you all have gotten some big wins. I mean, let's start in the non-conference. Let's start with Clemson, Washington State, and then let's call it what it is. A lot of people came to see LSU and got disappointed, but when they learned that and they saw this Auburn team play, they've been coming back each and every week. Mingo, you were a part of that big win at LSU. How much did that drive you playing in such an awesome environment and, again, got to send some people home sad that day?
It was, like you said, a lot of people didn't come to see us, but it was good to get a win in front of the crowd just to have them continue to support us throughout the rest of the conference schedule.
All right. I've asked this before, but have some new listeners in the crowd tonight. Remind everybody why you chose Auburn. Mingo, I know you've had a couple stops in the SEC, and you've been recruited by Coach Jay. Why play for her this final season?
Just like this is was my last season, so I just wanted to go out, of course with the coach first and foremost who knows my game on the court, but off the court just with a sense of just being in a better place mentally on and off the court, and I feel like it was no better place, no better coach to do that for than Coach Jay.
Well, Taylen, before I get to you, I just want to say I've actually called a game where both of you were playing against Auburn, and let me just say it was no fun to be on the opposing side of you. I remember playing Mingo in the SEC tournament in Starkville a time or two, and then Taylen, you came to Auburn, but also you now are on Auburn's team. Coach Jay recruited you out of the portal. What attracted you to Auburn? And I know a month later we had this conversation last month, but why now? Why is it the right decision now, even with just 2 games left to play?
Trust was a big thing for me, and being able to play comfortably under who I was playing for. And Coach Jay, along with her staff, they've just been so supportive and just instilling confidence into me. And so this is big for these next couple games coming up, to finish strong and to get into that NCAA tournament. And I think that's kind of the goal of everybody on our team, staff and players included.
Well, Taylen, you mentioned trust. Coach Jay, she's told me since day one, since she met you, that hey, you had a bigger role on this team, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. How does that build your confidence, knowing that, hey, you're a key focal point? And by the way, Taylen Collins, ladies and gentlemen, is the only player to start every game this season for the Auburn Tigers. So Taylen, that's a pretty big exclamation right there. What does that mean to you, though, for Coach Jay and having that much trust every start and having that role on offense?
It means a lot because basketball a lot of it is mental, and so when you have people outside of yourself that are constantly believing in you, constantly putting positive words into your mind, then it just kind of leaves it all out on the court. Like, you can just focus on the game itself and not have to worry about what you may or may not supposed to be doing. You can just play freely.
Well, Mingo, last time Auburn beat Mississippi State was 2014. You started your career at Mississippi State. You get to play your final game at Auburn against Mississippi State with a lot on the line for both teams on Thursday night. What's that one mean to you and just that opportunity that's ahead?
That's crazy, but just like you said, we both have an opportunity. We need to win to get into the tournament, or to potentially put ourselves in a position to go to the tournament. So Thursday is a huge game for us. Of course, we're gonna be celebrating senior night, but the most important thing is getting the win on Thursday. So we get the win, and I'll be able to enjoy senior night better.
I was thinking about both of you today in prepping for this and realizing you both got to play close to home in the last month. Mingo, on just a week ago, you got to go back to Louisiana and play in front of some friends and family. Had a big second half, by the way. What was that like, just being able to return home? Because I know it's tough being a college student, especially out of state.
Mm-hmm. It was good. It was great to see a lot of familiar faces. I had a lot of people at that game. I wish we could have won that one, but it was good to see all my close family. I have a big family, so I had a lot of people there, and it was good to see all of them.
We're not in that game without you in the second half. What clicked for you, by the way, first half to the second half where you dropped 16?
I got fussed at halftime.
Does that help you? Does that help? Taylen, what kind of coaching helps you? You like to get fussed at, or you more of a positive encouragement, positive affirmation?
I feel like I'm all of the above.
Yeah?
Yeah, whatever Coach Jay's feeling that day.
Well, my father, he's a coach, so he always had some colorful ways of getting on to me. So, Mingo, I'm with you. That always helped me a little bit. But, Taylen, you got to go to Fayetteville, Arkansas, which is pretty close to the big city of Muldrow, Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
I know that was special for you getting to go back to Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, it was. I had my school, my high school team coming out to support. I had teachers. There was a lot of people there. Got to take a lot of pictures. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I heard after the game, I heard a big round of applause for somebody. I was like, who is that? Then I saw it was you walking out. It made all the sense. But
yeah.
You guys mentioned the LSU game, and that one being such a close game. Auburn has had so many close games down the stretch, both at Alabama and LSU. And what I admire both about, or from both of those games and from the two of you and your leadership, is this team never gives up. You don't quit. I mean, you have every excuse to lay down. You don't. Where does that come from? Taylen, let's start with you. Where does that drive come from to keep this team up and going?
I just feel like we just have the mentality that it's not over until the final buzzer sounds. I feel like throughout the season we've had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of surprising comebacks, and I just feel like with the mentality of just keep continuing to put the foot on the gas, and just continuing until the final buzzer. I feel like that mentality is kind of what we've had throughout the entire season, because it's really anybody's game in this conference this year. So
Auburn after Alabama, you all had one of I think the toughest road trips of the season. Right after that letdown is having to go to Baton Rouge. Credit to LSU. They built one of the best home court advantages. And, Mingo, you called a team meeting. You called a player-only team meeting after that Alabama game. You don't have to say what was said, but why? What led you to do that? Because your team responded well, I thought, at LSU. You gave LSU all they wanted and more in Baton Rouge.
I feel like because when you go to Baton Rouge, you can easily get blown out. Like, you can get embarrassed. And we're trying to make a case to go to the tournament. We're trying to make a case to make a deep postseason run. And you got to go in here. You got to show these people that you can play with anybody in the country, including those top teams. So we wanted to go in there Like I said, wanted to win, but I'm proud of us for that game because we showed a lot of fight. We're down 10 at the half, so we showed a lot of fight that game.
Made a pretty good impression yesterday on the tournament committee, defeating Texas A&M, another bubble team. You did it by forcing 27 turnovers on defense yesterday. Mingo, let's start with you. You led the way at point guard. How was Auburn able to get so much pressure on their backcourt, because that's where most of the turnovers came from?
We had a great first of all, just how we play defense, but we also had a great game plan, knowing which players we needed to stop, which players needed to key in on, and just knowing which players we could afford the pressure, and that's what created all of those turnovers.
And Taylen, your job inside wasn't easy. Neither one of you, I might add. Mingo, we like to think because you're a point guard, you don't rebound, but you rebound with the best of them night in and night out. Taylen, A&M was one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Auburn got a taste of them in College Station already. You made some big adjustments inside as a team. How tough was it yesterday? Where did that success come from on the boards?
I just think it was a total team effort. Our coaches had a point of emphasis on rebounding, learning from what we didn't do last game. And so I think everybody kind of pitched in. It was like all across the boards, and we just, kind of put that as one of our team goals.
Mingo, I know you got a little banged up in that game and had a chance to come back in. You're a fighter. You're not a quitter. And how you feeling today? And don't give too much detail. Just want to make sure you're good to go because, again, that was a physical game yesterday that everybody was getting knocked around in.
Yeah, I did get banged up a little bit, but we're going to play again till Thursday, so I'll be all right to be out there on Thursday.
See, that's why I asked the question because, again, Mingo, I know how stubborn you are in a good way, so that's a good thing. But, again, take care of yourself because Larry and I noticed when Mingo was back in, mentioned it to Coach Jay yesterday, that was it ever a question of going back in or was it a late decision for you?
Oh, it was easy.
Easy decision?
You got to give it a couple minutes to chill out, and then you'll be all right.
If I got knocked down like you did, because that was a tough play, I wouldn't have been back in. That's just me, though. But, Taylor, you mentioned the scouting report for Coach D and always being prepared. What's it like working with these assistants game in and game out? You get Coach D not only with a scouting report that game, but also as your position coach inside. How has she made you better?
I gotta say Coach C is kind of more my position coach, but they kind of share me a little bit.
Okay. All right.
But they just helped a bunch, kind of creating both an inside and outside game for me. Coach D, she knows what she's talking about, so I'm kind of been like a sponge all year and just kind of soaking up what she knows. Coach C knows a little bit too, but yeah, but just kind of been a sponge soaking up everything that I can.
Coach Katerra's laughing at us over there, but that's okay. All right, a couple more questions for you. We talked about LSU. What's the favorite road atmosphere this year that y'all played in? Anybody can answer. We've had some good ones.
Yeah. I would say LSU's because they were the funniest.
Yeah.
Just like listening to what they were saying, but still staying focused during the game.
You had the fashion trend too, but also Bingo for you. I know favorite play this season has got to be the takeaway to win the ball game, right? Not the favorite play? Favorite defensive play?
I got a block Sunday, so that might be my favorite play. To y'all, it might be injuries, but me,
okay.
never have.
All right. Who'd you block? I don't remember. There was so much that happened in that game. Set it up for me. You remember?
Number 4.
Number 4? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and look for that one on the highlights. But senior night coming up on Thursday night, and I know a lot to be playing for. Again, a chance to play in the postseason, and you all handled that pressure extremely well. You had to win yesterday. And how do y'all handle that just game to game and knowing this is what you play for? It's not stressful when this is fun. This is why you sign up to play college basketball.
I think just staying in the moment. Of course, you got an end game goal, which is trying to make the tournament. But you can't make the tournament tomorrow in practice. You can't make the tournament Wednesday in practice. So you just got to just take it moment by moment, day by day, and just staying locked in. And if you're doing what's right and you're taking care of business, your goal is going to be there for you waiting.
I'll tell you what, if I can go back and find the block shot highlight, I might include it on your starting lineup intro. How about that? I don't know if I can find it, but I'll try just for you. All right. Senior night, though, who's going to be joining you, Taylen? Let's start with you. Who's going to be in town? Who's going to be with you on Thursday night?
As of right now, I think it's my mom, my dad, my little brother, and my aunt.
Now your dad, he's a coach, right?
Yeah,
Did
Did
he ever coach you growing up?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what sports?
Yeah. Basketball and track.
What was it like in basketball? My dad was my basketball coach too, and let's just say I wasn't the coach's kid that started. I very much rode the bench my 7th grade year.
We butt heads a lot. Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But
yeah.
he definitely pushed me to be better.
All right. I can't wait to tell my dad that story. I shared that on air tonight. He'll get a kick out of that. Mingo, how about you? Who's going to be joining you on Thursday night?
As of right now, for sure, my mom, my little brother, my dad, and my grandparents may be coming. I don't know yet.
Shout out to your mom. My little one and my wife got to meet your mom in Tuscaloosa. They were extremely nice, so I hope they weren't too disruptive in the fan section. But plans after graduation this year, Mingo? Travel? What's the first destination you want to go to?
I don't know yet, but I'm going somewhere. As soon as it's over with. Like, I'm talking, I might give it 24 hours.
Can you take me with you?
Of course.
All right, that's what I want to do. Listen, I'll split gas. I'll do whatever. Taylen, how about you? What's plans after graduation?
I'm going on a cruise.
See?
But I gotta pitch in. I gotta pay for it. I don't think I should. I think it should be a graduation present. But yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, they're making me pay. They're making me pitch in because I'm grown. They said I'm grown now. I don't know what that
That's not
means.
right. It's not right.
Yeah, the secret to life is to never grow up, and I can tell you, once you hit 30, it's downhill from there. So stay in your 20s forever. What does playing at Auburn mean to both of you? Taylen, lead us off.
It means a lot to me. If I could put it into one word, it means family. I feel like it's just a big extended family, and I love not just winning for our team, but for Auburn. Like I love that. I love representing Auburn as a whole.
You know, this year where I can tell the bond of this team is it's not on the court. I mean, what you all have done on the court this season has been phenomenal. But it's this tonight, the team meals. It's the bus rides, it's the plane rides, it's the time in the locker room. Mingo, what's this time mean to you? Is this team different from other teams you've been on?
Yeah, I would say because this team is a little bit younger than the rest of the teams that I've been around. So it's just a different experience when you have a different, I would say age group. But they're fun to be around. I love them. So this year has been amazing, and hopefully we can just continue to create a lot of memories in the short amount of time we got left.
You mentioned this team being younger than you. So who's the team mom? Is there a grandma or a mom on the team?
No, I said the team is younger than previous teams that I've been in.
Okay.
See, I'm not that much older than my teammates.
Okay, all right. I wasn't calling you old. I was just asking, does anybody have that role in the locker room, though? Is anybody a team mom?
Carson.
Yeah.
Carson's a team mom? Okay,
Team
all right.
mom.
All right.
Grandma.
Team Grandma is on. Well, actually, I think On and Mingo kind of share
Girl,
that.
I've never had to wear fireflies during the game. Ever. I've never had to wear fireflies during the game. Ever.
All right, I'll leave you ladies with this. What's your favorite Auburn memory? What do you hope to accomplish here in the coming weeks?
Ask me a question at the end when it's all over with.
All over?
I
I'm gonna get you on the. Well, listen, I'm getting both of you on the post-game show again. All right, listen.
Something left.
Y'all owe this to me, okay? Because I only get to interview you all, thanks to Wesley and Coach Jay. I only get to interview you all after wins, okay? So I need some wins here down the stretch here because I've got to get you guys on headset again. But I'll leave you with this. What are you looking forward to here? Just with what's at stake, what's to come, how exciting is this to be a part of?
I'm very excited. It's a lot still to unfold for the rest of the season. So I'm excited for the amount of opportunities that this team has, just to see how far we can take and how far we can go.
Taylen, how about you? This team has competed with every team in this conference from number 1 down to number 14. Have some big opportunities ahead.
Yeah, I've been so proud of our fight this year, and I can just tell that we have a lot more to accomplish, and we're not done yet. So,
ladies, thank y'all so much. Big round of applause tonight for JaMya Mingo-Young and Taylen Collins here on the Coach Jay Show. They'll be 2 of the 5 seniors honored on Thursday night against Mississippi State. Reminder, everybody in Baumhower's, everybody in the restaurant tonight, we need you at Neville Arena on Thursday night, okay? We play at 7 o'clock. Auburn, final home game of the season. Tigers have to win to improve their resume for the NCAA tournament. After the game, will come. The Baumhowers will have a celebration at Baumhower's on Thursday night. By the way, big thank you to everybody at Baumhower's tonight, our servers all season long, our staff. Thank you for what you do. We appreciate it. It's great food. Come to Baumhower's out on Bent Creek Road in Auburn. Now for our final segment of the night, we have two more guests. We have former Tiger Miss Tracy Tanner, and then also the third leading scorer in the SEC, Miss Honesty Scott-Grayson, joining the show tonight here on the Coach J Show. Ladies, welcome in. War Eagle, packed house on hand, all just to hear from Honesty Scott-Grayson and Miss Tracy Tanner, also JaMya, Taylen, and Carson. Ladies, War Eagle, welcome on.
War Eagle.
Who wants to go first?
Honesty. No.
See, that's why I asked you both, because you two have been together for, now, Honesty, how long have you been at Auburn now? 4 or 5 years? 5 years, because you had to sit out 1 year, correct?
I really don't know. It's like, no. Yeah, I believe so.
I was trying to think back today. I could not remember which year. I knew it was with Coach Flo, but I couldn't remember which year you got here, Tracy. And for Honesty, again, this is a player you've known since, let's say she was a baby, basically, in her college days. How much has Honesty grown in your eyes over this time?
Man, she has come such a long way, and not saying it in a bad way,
sure.
But when she first got here, she was, what, you were 19 at that point, and to see you blossom as a player on and off the court, as a person, like you're so mature now, and to actually watch that, it's so amazing to be able to be with you this long and see your transition. So it's been special being able to watch her journey from start to finish.
Honesty, how about you? Former player to look up to, role model on staff. What's this relationship with Tracy been like over the years?
First of all, thank you. That was really nice. But Tracy has seen me at my worst days since I came in 2019. And she see me on my good days, and it's always good to have a former player on staff, somebody that I could really talk to and relate with. She's been there for me ever since I stepped on campus. I might have given her a headache during my years here, but it was nothing but love coming from Tracy, and I really appreciate her for being on the staff and having her here.
Tracy, you're the Director of Program Relations, Operations, and Events on staff. This is kind of a new role for you this year for Coach J. What all does that role entail? That's a lot of titles in one. You kind of do a little bit of everything for the team.
I do. So I've stepped in a little bit to help Stu with some stuff from the Dobo position, so I can kind of get my feet wet in that a little bit more. I oversee our Full Court Press Club, which is our donor club. So just continue to build our relationship with our community and those that support us unconditionally, and we absolutely appreciate every single person that's part of that club. Also being over our marketing, being our liaison for marketing, being our liaison for equipment since I stepped out of that role. Also just really anything with Coach J, making sure she gets where she needs to be, and also doing her calendar so that she can go and speak to people, and if she has any engagements and stuff like that, anything to do with the girls, getting out in the community, our community service, and just also like with NIL and stuff like that, being there person for that.
Don't forget talent booking for the Coach J Show. Tracy books our guests every week for the Coach J Show. So Tracy, we appreciate that. But I know you all went to Europe in the summer. That was in August, right before fall semester. What was that like, having to plan that as you're helping Stu with ops responsibilities?
But I let Stu spearhead that, because I had never been in that, but it was cool to kind of see everything behind the scenes and everything that it took to put that together. I'm surprised Stu doesn't have more gray hairs than she does. I know this year she stepped in the assistant coaching role, so I know this year's given her a lot of gray hairs, but she did her thing on that Europe trip.
I know you spent several years at Auburn in equipment, now kind of in more of an ops role. Which one do you like more? I know each has its challenges.
Ops hands down.
Ops hands down, huh? Ops hands down.
Yeah.
What about Coach J's chat room? Tracy, that's something you've led up, where the Booster Club, they have a chance to come and meet with Coach J. Anyone can attend, by the way. We have our final one tomorrow. How big has that been for the program, just to have that fan engagement?
It's been really good. I think next year we'll do more of like film breakdown and stuff like that, so they can see where we're going in terms of scouting and stuff like that. But it's been really good for our fans to be able to come and ask questions leading up to games, and then post games. We've done a lot of special things this year. We've had a lot of special moments this year. starting with family weekend and then also with DeWanna Bonner's jersey retirement. So it's just good for them to be able to ask those questions to Coach Jay. And then we also have, other coaches on campus come in and speak to them as well. And they are able to interact with them and, ask them questions.
What's your favorite memory or story of Honesty Scott-Grayson? One that we can share on air, of course.
Honestly, I said honesty. Honestly, the LSU game. Because Honesty really had a look in her eye that she's had before, but it was from start to finish.
True.
In that game, she looked like she was playing in the W. And she's that girl. And that game showed it. And she's been consistent literally ever since. So when I speak to how she's matured, that game was what showed what she's been putting in these past 4 years.
Well, honestly, let's flip back to you. Coach Jay has been complimenting you. Yeah, you're scoring, but it's the other things you do off the ball and you do with the ball. With distributing the basketball, defending is all parts of your game. It's not just dropping 28 casually on LSU, by the way. For you, it's been a total package this year, and not only have you performed, but you've embraced that role. How do you approach that every day?
I try not to think about it too much. I just try to, just go with the flow and let the game come to me. And my role is, to score, distribute, and every chance that I get, I just take full advantage of it. Whether it's, driving to the basket or shooting my mid-range or, even get my teammates involved on cuts and all of that stuff and pops and just doing the things necessary to try to get us on the board.
What's your favorite way to score?
My favorite way to score, any way I can.
Anyway, see, that's a baller right there. It's not a layup. It's not a pull up. It's any way you can. But for you, heard an interesting story about you on one of our recent road trips to LSU. You were talking to the TV crew and about who's been meaningful to you, and then you said it was your brother. How big of an impact has he had on you from the time he got to college till now, and what his background is?
Well, my brother, he's currently overseas in Romania right now. Most of our whole basketball career, we have not been together. I barely see him.
Yeah.
But he's just one phone call away, and whenever I need him, he answers no matter what time it is. And he gives me pointers, and he tells me things from his past experiences, and he knows me better than anybody. So once he sees something that he thinks that I can work on, he tells me, and I have no choice but to listen. That's my big brother, and I take what he says very seriously, and he has a big impact on my performance and who I am as a player today. So
both of you had a chance to move on, and you stayed through a staff transition with Coach Jay, and for different reasons, obviously, but for athletes, it's important to stay and stick things through. And Tracy, as a staff member, you chose to do the same thing. Why Coach Jay? Why has this staff been such a good fit for you?
Well, Coach Jay's first year at Mississippi State was my first year here at Auburn. So I've seen her develop a team. I've seen what she's been able to do with the team, and it's been so special. I've seen what they did at Mississippi State. So to be able to be a part of something here and bring Auburn back on the map, I wanted to be a part of it, not only to be able to do it with her, but also these kids. They're the primary reason why I do what I do. And I tell them every single year, my sole purpose is to make sure that y'all get a good experience at Auburn the way I got a good experience at Auburn. And Renisha can speak to the same thing. I even talk to people that have transferred, and they're like, I've had my best college years while I was at Auburn, so I want them to be able to have that while they're here and also utilize their resources while they're here. Auburn holds a lot of weight, and so I want them to understand that when you go out into the real world, while you're here, you should network with people, because when you go out in the real world, a lot of people know what Auburn is and who Auburn is.
In honesty, you've been a big part, you and Carson McFadden have been a big part of building this foundation into what it is today. I know we've come a long way since your first year in uniform to now. Now you're knocking on the door for the NCAA tournament. How does that make you feel for your team to have that opportunity here in the next month?
It feels great. It's a great feeling. Just to be a part of something like this rebuild is just phenomenal. Just seeing how far this program has come, even throughout all of the coaching changes. Just being a part of something like that is something that I wanted to actually be a part of. I could have easily left, and once things get hard, the one thing that people turn to is to just leave and start somewhere else. But I'm not that type of person. I like to stay down. I like to stick it through, and I'm not the if you can't beat them, join them type. I'm gonna stick it through with you guys, and I'm gonna do the best that I can on my part to make sure this program is where it needs to be.
Third leading scorer in the SEC, 28 points against LSU in our recent game. What's been clicking for you down the stretch of this season?
That's a great question. I would just say I would really say faith. I pray before every game, and to keep me and my teammates out of harm's way, hurt, harm, and injury, and just to give me the strength to just do what I can do best, and use the talent that he's given me to the best of my abilities, and I just go out there with a clear mind and just work and just do what I can do.
So. Knowing how far you've come, you battled through a lot of adversity, through a transfer from Baylor, through an injury here at Auburn. What advice would you give yourself, let's say 18-year-old honesty, what advice would you give yourself today?
What advice would I give? You asking these good questions, man.
Just for best player on the team, I gotta bring my best player, or got my best questions.
I wouldn't say all that, but I would say definitely stay down, and weather the storm. Everybody's journey isn't just a straight and narrow. There's gonna be some curves in there, and it's just up to you to be strong and level-headed, and to just overcome those bumps in the road. And the grass is always greener on the other side. So,
what's your favorite Auburn memory?
My favorite Auburn memory is beating LSU. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that, but beating LSU.
Well, that's only for now, because we're going to have some big memories coming up in the next week. So we got senior night coming up on Thursday, and we also have a busy week ahead. Tracy, is a little different, players and staff. What is a week ahead prepping like senior night? What's that like for you in your position?
Just kind of making sure that we have all the information we need, number one, since we're honoring 5 seniors, and then we're also honoring our practice player, right self, and then Gustavo, our manager. So just making sure that, I have all the names and everything for who's escorting each player out and each kid. And we're also going to honor the seniors of Mississippi State as well during that recognition. But honestly, from a marketing standpoint, just making sure we have all our X's and O's, making sure that all the senior gifts and stuff are in, and we have everything, all the flowers, bouquets, and everything that we need. Yeah. So,
Honesty, how about you? Who's walking with you on Thursday night?
My parents are. My mom and my dad, they've been here for a little bit. So, having them, basically. I wish I could have my brother, but that's basically it. That's all.
A little extra motivation for him on Thursday night. One last time in front of this home crowd in Neville Arena. You've been in front of some great atmospheres this year. 13 home wins, going for number 14. How special will that be for you on Thursday?
It'd be great. Just we haven't beaten Mississippi State in a long time, and that's going to be my last home game, and wearing a Auburn jersey at Neville Arena. So it's going to be very special. We just got to stick to the game plan and focus on getting the win first and foremost.
Last game in Neville Arena on Thursday night for Honesty, but a month of basketball still left for Honesty and these Auburn Tigers. Ladies, thank you all so much. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best on Thursday night. Looking forward to a big run here this postseason. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Auburn takes on Mississippi State. Again, that's the final home game of the regular season. It'll be senior night. We'll tip it off at 7 p.m. on AU 100, 100.3 FM, and the Auburn Tigers app. For Carsen McFadden, Taylen Collins, JaMya Mingo-Young, Honesty Scott-Grayson, Tracy Tanner, and Wes Todd, I'm Britt Bowen. Good night, and War Eagle from Baumhower's Victory.